Hey guys, welcome to Mystery Diagnosis.
Birthday, her mother has her professionally photographed to mark the special occasion. But when she sees the final prints, Holly is taken aback.
And when I picked him up, I was shocked. I said, look at this picture. I said, she just, to me, looks like she has Down syndrome. She just had the cherub look in her face, just little up corners of her almond-shaped eyes.
But then, about a month later, she notices something else unusual.
And I noticed that she had this bruise on her leg. It was cobalt blue in color, and it was approximately the size of a silver dollar on her right shin. Right away, I'm thinking, okay, what was she doing? Did she fall? That's an awful big bruise.
But several weeks later, the bruise still hasn't gone away.
I'm wondering if it's spleen disorder.
And Holly figures she'd better get Hannah to the doctor. 2 more months go by, and the bruise remains clearly visible. But 3 weeks later, the flu is still wreaking havoc on Hannah's body. And when her temperature spikes to a dangerous 103 degrees, Holly rushes her daughter back to the doctor's office.
I don't blame
Girl, but Hannah doesn't seem to be improving. In fact, the family begins to notice an alarming new symptom.
She was always pale looking and tired. When she was at my house, she'd be in the bedroom playing and turn around. The next thing you know, she's laying in bed sleeping. And I kept saying something's the matter with her because she's not normal.
She was still pretty lethargic and sleeping, and underneath her eyes, they were just purple, just like she had bags. And I knew she slept, so it wasn't like she wasn't in lack of sleep.
Over the next week, Hannah begins sleeping more than 17 hours a day.
That's one
She
sick
also
kid.
develops a runny nose and brutal cough.
The antibiotic, she seemed to perk up.
I'm glad she got me
But
worried.
Hannah's rebound is short-lived. Just a week after completing the course of antibiotics, Hannah develops yet another raging fever.
That night, she'd had 103 temperature. She was moody, she was pulling at her ears. She was just not at all happy.
I
And I
don't
thought,
blame
this
her.
is just not right. Why is she doing so well on an antibiotic for so many days, and then boom, the minute she finishes it, she's sick again?
The following month, this disturbing pattern repeats itself over and over. That is, until a terrifying new symptom emerges.
I went to go get her after she chased the dog into the bedroom, and it wasn't very far. And she's like, Mommy, I'm so tired. You know, and I thought, wow. I said, you didn't run that far. And when I picked her up over and laid her on my chest, her little heart was just beating out of her chest like she ran a marathon.
Terrified by the possibilities, Holly races her daughter back to the doctor's office.
I set her down beside the car, and I reached in to grab my purse. She just collapsed, completely over.
The reason for my eye twitch, I was annoyed at the doctor sending her to the hospital instead of sending them himself.
And I picked her up, and when she was on my chest as I was walking into the hospital, her little heart was just beating out of her chest again.
Test results.
He said, Mrs. Hannum, your daughter's severely sick. Her blood count's severely low, and she needs blood right now. A tiki eye.
But the results are even worse. Hannah's lab reports seem to indicate that she's been suffering from a rare and potentially life-threatening blood disorder. The medical team immediately administers a blood transfusion to help raise her low blood counts.
Good. She has two
I held her to my
conditions.
chest the whole time the blood ran.
One's mildest
She fell
plastic
asleep on my
syndrome.
chest.
I'm figuring
I was
out
able to lay her
the
down in bed and kept
I
rubbing
seen
her
that
back.
from the beginning.
It's imperative that he get a close look at Hannah's bone marrow to understand why her blood counts are so dangerously low.
We immediately prepared to do a bone marrow aspirated biopsy from her right hip, which is the best place in children to get marrow from.
The report finally comes in, and it doesn't take Dr. Shaw long to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Myelodysplastic syndrome is a type of blood cancer. In healthy individuals, stem cells, known as blasts, mature to become healthy red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. But in patients with myelodysplastic syndrome, the blasts never mature and affect the operation of the bone marrow, preventing the production of healthy cells. On a second bone marrow biopsy to help ascertain the effectiveness of her last round of chemotherapy. But the results are not at all what Dr. Shaw was expecting.
We saw that 10% of her cells had an extra chromosome 21,
Mosaic
which is what
Down
you see in
syndrome.
mosaic Down syndrome.
Mosaic Down syndrome is a genetic disorder where individuals have a mix of normal cells and mutated cells that contain an extra chromosome 21, characteristic of Down syndrome. Patients with the disorder don't normally exhibit the same physical symptoms or developmental delays as patients with classical Down syndrome.
Good.
Dr. Shaw has to rethink his entire treatment plan. A lower dose of chemotherapy may allow them to kill the cancer. Hannah is officially in remission.
That's great.
Today, she remains cancer-free.
She finished her
That's
chemotherapy.
wonderful.
I've never looked back. She's been fine
I don't
and
blame
healthy.
them.
I am cancer-free. I feel pretty good today.
I see nothing that is holding her back due to her having the mosaic Down syndrome. She could do everything a typical 8-year-old can do. She loves to read. She's a great kid. I don't think as an adult I could have gone through what she went through and come out smiling as she did every day. She's an amazing little individual. She is my hero.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know I post a video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.